Your Excellency the Governor, please. Since this event is scheduled to happen in 2 parts, I'd like to crave your indulgence to take the next 3 to 4 minutes to do all the elaborate introductions in this part, so that when we, by the grace of God, move to the second part, we can just skip every formality and go straight into the activities. Your Excellency, this evening we're being joined by a very high-part delegation, powerful in every sense of the word, because they lead in this country at the highest echelon. And this evening they are laid this courteous visit to you by a man that needs no introduction here. He served Akwa Ibom State in several capacities, culminating in the office of the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, has served Nigeria in several capacities, and today serves as the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, introducing to you, and of course to all of us, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Dr. Godswill Akpabio, CON. Please, can we celebrate here? Delighted to have you here, sir, and we thank you for your visit. Your Excellency is one leader that never goes alone. As a matter of fact, he goes always with the crowd. But this crowd is a very special crowd. I want to welcome Abba Moro, also on the delegation. We welcome you and thank you. Your Excellency, the Minority Whip is also here on this entourage. We welcome very respectfully distinguished Senator Osita. Thank you very much. And Your Excellency, to conclude on the leadership, I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Minority Leader, the Senate, who is also here, distinguished Senator Oladere Oyewumi. Please, can we celebrate him? Thank you very much. Your Excellency, I shall proceed now to acknowledge other distinguished senators who are here on this entourage. I'll do that as quickly as I can so we can save time. I want to acknowledge the Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on National Planning, distinguished Senator Austin Okobundu, who is also on the delegation. We welcome you. The Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Niger Delta, distinguished Senator Amos Yohana, we welcome you. Excellency, the Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Health, distinguished Senator Kaila Samaila, who is also present, we welcome you. Your Excellency, Chairman of the Senate Committee on FCT Area Council, distinguished Senator Chimkuta David, who is also on the delegation, we welcome you. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption, distinguished Senator Odende Emmanuel, also on the delegation, we welcome you. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, distinguished Senator Solomon Adeola, also on the delegation, we welcome you. Your Excellency, we also have on the delegation Chairman, Senate Committee on Agriculture, distinguished Senator Saliu Mustafa, on the delegation, we welcome you. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Drugs and Narcotics, distinguished Senator Ibrahim Dankwambo, who is also the delegation, we welcome you. Chairman, Senate Committee on Banking and Finance, also present, distinguished Senator Abiru Adetukumbo, we welcome you, thank you very much. We also have Chairman, Senate Committee on Judiciary, we welcome distinguished Senator Tai Mogunu, who is also present, we welcome you. Chairman, Senate Committee on Power, distinguished Senator Einaya Abaribe. Please, can we celebrate him? Thank you very much. Chairman, Senate Committee on Labor and Productivity, distinguished Senator Ticket Plang. Can we put our hands together and welcome him? Chairman, Senate Committee on Rules and Business, distinguished Senator Titus Zam, also in the delegation. We welcome you. Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Special Duties, distinguished Senator Benson Kombue. Please, can we put our hands together and celebrate him? Thank you. Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Science and Technology, distinguished Senator Kelvin Chuku. We welcome you and we appreciate your presence. Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption, distinguished Senator Tony Nwoye, who is also in the delegation. We welcome you. Your Excellency, Chairman, Senate Committee on INEC, also in the delegation, distinguished Senator Ali Sharafuddin. Please, can we celebrate him? Thank you very much. Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Drugs and Narcotics, also present, distinguished Senator Anthony Yaro. Chairman, Senate Committee on Customs, also present, distinguished Senator Issa Jibrin. We welcome you. The Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Agriculture, Your Excellency, Distinguished Senator Aniekan Basi. Your Excellency, Chairman, Senate Committee on Solid Minerals, Distinguished Senator Ekong Samson. We welcome you. Your Excellency, let me also acknowledge members of the House of Representatives who has joined the distinguished senator. I acknowledge Honorable Patrick Umo. I want to very quickly acknowledge Your Excellency Aun, who I also want to acknowledge Aun, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, seated where he should be seated. Please, can we encourage and acknowledge? Thank you so much. We acknowledge your presence and we welcome you to your state. Your Excellency, we acknowledge just a minute as I get this right so that we don't miss any of our leaders here. Your Excellency, just notified now that Chairman, Senate Committee on Senate Services is also present. Distinguished Senator Sunday Karimi. Please, can we put our hands together and celebrate him? Thank you. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, as I conclude on the introductions on that end, I want to acknowledge the chairman of the APC in Akwa Ibom State, who is still present here. Can we celebrate Mr. Stephen Ntogepo? We acknowledge your presence and we thank you. Your Excellency, the South-South rep on the National Council of Privatization has also joined on the delegation, Dr. Akwa. We acknowledge your presence and we thank you. There are so many leaders who are here with the Senate President, but time would fail me to go further. So please may I ask that we all put our hands together and celebrate Senate President and his entourage. Of course, not leaving out the Chief of Staff to the Senate President, Chief Sylvester Okonkwo. Thank you very much. Please, you're being received here, of course, our leader, the Senate President, by a gentleman, a leader that God has blessed us with in Akwa Ibom State today. If peace were to be personified, if compassion were to be personified, if people-centric leadership were to be personified, if bipartisanship were to be given another name, that name would be His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much. Every layer of the applause, only a confirmation of some of the very soft adjectives that we use to describe him. He's definitely more. We want to acknowledge also the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Distinguished Senator Dr. Mrs. Akun Eyaranyi. Your Excellency, we acknowledge the presence of the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Elder Udeme Otong. We welcome you. The Chairman of the People's Democratic Party here in Akwa Ibom State, we acknowledge you. Right Honorable Elder Aniekan Akwa, thank you. I acknowledge respectfully the Director General of Government Business, former Nigeria's ambassador to the State of Russia, His Excellency Chief Asama Sam, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Distinguished senators, other members of the House of Representatives who are here, joining His Excellency to receive this delegation. I acknowledge Distinguished Senator Emmanuel Iborisien, Distinguished Senator Effiong Bob, Distinguished Senator Bishop Helen Eswene, Distinguished Senator Aloysius Eto. Please, thank you so much. We welcome all of you, all of you. Your Excellency, please, I acknowledge other members of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly through the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Kofra Basi Edidem. We welcome you. We welcome the Secretary to the Government of Akwa Ibom State, Prince Enobong Owa. We welcome you. The Head of the Civil Service, Elder Effiong Esien. We welcome you. Your Excellency, I acknowledge and welcome all members of the State Executive Council. I acknowledge the Attorney General Commissioner for Justice, Ukodom, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And for want of time, please, I acknowledge all the other honorable commissioners and special advisors through the dean of that very distinguished college, Samonde Ibom Uko. Please, as he leads his colleagues to rise, we acknowledge all of you and we appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Thank you so much. As we make efforts to end this very quickly, I acknowledge all permanent secretaries through their dean or vice dean, Dr. Val Ubut. We acknowledge your presence. We acknowledge heads of extraministerial departments. We acknowledge chairmen of boards through their dean, Your Excellency, honorary special advisors to the governor through their dean, Santum Kenneth Okon. We acknowledge, please, all aides to His Excellency the governor in their various ranks and capacities. Your Excellency, some of our leaders who have also joined you here, I acknowledge very respectfully the National Chairman of the Maintain Peace Movement, Emmanuel Eno, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And of course, our legal titan who does a lot of the work legally. We also welcome Wemedimo Nwoko, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Your Excellency, let me end by acknowledging the presence of the Commissioner of Police, Akwa Ibom State. Please, can we celebrate him? Thank you very much. And of course, the State Director of Securities, Akwa Ibom, we also welcome you. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, we acknowledge gentlemen of the praise. We acknowledge every person in this house. You are very important. That is why you even had access to where you are. So please, can I ask that we put our hands together and just celebrate ourselves? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, having completed the introductory formalities, I thank you for the privilege.
To share banters, to share drinks together. It's not because each and every one of them cannot watch the moon from their various houses, but because it is a beautiful thing and very godly to bond together, to commune together. So this evening, I just want to recognize a man of peace. In fact, an apostle and a disciple of peace in Nigeria. And the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno. Your Excellency, on behalf of my colleagues, we are very happy to be in your council chambers and to sit amongst your commissioners to deliberate on the affairs of Nigeria tonight. The Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State and our colleague, distinguished Senator Akon Eyagaye, who happens to be a colleague of ours. So that one is one of us. I recognize you. And my leaders in the National Assembly, particularly in the Senate, who have so far, many of them from the Deputy Majority Whip of the Senate, Webwe, all the way down to the Minority Leader, Abba Moro, the Minority Leader, Olalere, and then another leader in the minority in the Senate, the person of Osita Ngu, and I think the minority leaders are more, but the rest are probably in the hotel because we had another plane coming in after the first 3 planes landed, Your Excellency. I'm sure they will join us when you take us to go and share some bottles of understanding. So all the distinguished senators here, you have all been named. I'm the one to join His Excellency the Governor to say, welcome to the state of class. Akwa Abasibo States. So, for the younger senators who may aspire to leadership, please take time to learn one or two things before you leave. You cannot learn how to construct State Executive Council. I was privileged to do this when I was governor. Then you have to learn how to maintain it so that 10 years after you visit, you will still see it as beautiful as I'm seeing it. That's why I said state of class. There are some states that somebody could do this, and then he comes back 5 years after, and the place is inhabited by rats. But look at, in Akwa Ibom, it's as if it was built yesterday. If you look at even the floor, you can see your face. Your Excellency, I don't want to mesmerize my colleagues, the senators, with the infrastructure in your state. Because as a Senate President, and by the grace of God, a number 3 citizen in Nigeria, we would like all states to be like this. That is why I'm happy that every state in Nigeria is represented here tonight. We want all states to be like this. Senator Zam, if you never thought of governorship, begin to think now. Senator Olamileko, it's here. Olamileko, Senator Abiru, all of you. And even Senator Jimmy Guta, Taraba can be great. Karibi and my brother Kevin Chuku, you have, you have a lot to do for Enugu people. My brother Ben Kubewe, Bayaza can be like this. Are you hearing me? So let me say that in our midst, I'm just recognizing my colleagues, the senators, but at the same time, one of us, or many of us, have been governors before, like His Excellency Governor Dan Kwambo, former governor of Gombe State. I'm mentioning that because I noticed that the MC was a little bit partial. He was going into much of the opposition while he was doing the introduction. He didn't go into APC. Me, I was listening. Did you notice that? So, I know it is Ababoro that must have whispered to him. I said that since Akwa Ibom is a PDP state, recognize us first. So, and then the former National Organizing Secretary of the PDP, who is now Senator Akobondu, I saw when he passed a paper to him. So my colleagues of the APC extraction, please don't be angry. Then as he was recognizing, even the landlord in the Senate, who has been there for the past 20 years, he only served 4 years as deputy governor. Then he has been there throughout. This is 2024. And so for 25 years of our democracy, he served only 4 years as deputy governor. The rest, he just settled in the Senate. It doesn't matter the political party, Senator Abaribe. So I went to the Senate in 2015. I saw him and I left him there. Then I came back to the Senate, I still saw him again. So, and one day I said, this PDP must be very wonderful for you. He said, no, that this time he came under APGA. So I would say, so the former deputy governor of Abia State, the distinguished senator, is now the leader of APGA in Nigeria. because he's the highest political office holder in Akwa. So I thank you and for being in our state tonight. The members of the National Assembly, the secretary, I almost missed out one person. I don't know why he's sitting on the left-hand side, because that side is for government officials or Akwa Ibom State. But I thought I came with a minister from Abuja. And he got himself subsumed among the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources, Gas, another man of peace. In fact, when I was commissioner for local government, when many of you were still in secondary school, I remember that we gave me a chieftaincy title of Obong MM. Obong MM. So he's also another man of peace. I didn't notice you because of where you are sitting, but I recognize you. The secretary to government, I don't want to make a statement, but I don't think there's anybody there I don't know. Probably the one person I may not have worked very closely with as the governor is the Attorney General, the only man that is mentioned in the Nigerian Constitution. My brother, Umo Eno, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I thank you for your service to Akwa Ibom, and as you continue to serve the state. The former Nigerian ambassador to Russia with concurrent jurisdiction or accreditation to 7 other countries was at the time the Attorney General under my administration, Chief Asam, SN. I'm happy to see you are still working very strong. You say? Yeah, what did you say? Oh my God, I think. I think this is a big challenge for Governor Umo Eno. 10 years after you leave office, let somebody who worked with you say Umo Eno was a very good governor. And that, I believe, will be said of you. May God make that to happen in Jesus' name. Amen. So the Commissioner, the permanent secretaries, and of course, my very dear colleagues who intend to induct me, inducted me into the committee of senators, whether serving or non-serving. The distinguished Senator Effiong Bob, I brought one of your former colleagues here. He's currently the chairman of the Senate Services. You were chairman of Senate Services, so you know what was there. So, so Senator Karimi, before you leave, please try to ask him how he used to do it under I think, David Mark. So that's Senator Effiong Bob. And then, of course, we have one of our most vocal, probably the most vocal senator we ever produced, in the person of this senator and Richman, engineer Ibom senator. It was very vocal. I won't tell you what you said to Obasanjo. Because he quoted from the book of Naboth when the Obasanjo tried to deny the minorities of Niger Delta their rights to oil within their premises. So he told Obasanjo that the book of Naboth, I think chapter 3, said that whoever moves the ancient boundaries of his forefathers, that death awaits the person. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, so, and then President Obasanjo turned to him and said, "What did you say?" He said, "I didn't say it. It is there in the Bible." So, I'm only quoting the Bible, and it's also there in the Quran. So the meeting ended. Exactly, and the meeting ended. So It's actually, we have produced a lot of fearless people. And another person I can call Mama Peace is a very distinguished Senator Helen Eswene. She was First Lady in Southeastern States when the husband was governor. So, and then she became a senator of the Federal Republic. She's still a senator. So I'm very happy to see you. I'm very happy to see you. But my own senator, distinguished Senator Aloysius Etuk, he represented me twice. He broke the ice and said, and then had 2 tenors. But when I wanted to go, he said I cannot go. But in his own case, I allowed him to go. And he went twice. When my son, he said, no way, this cannot happen. Well, I'm happy that you acknowledge that it's good to go twice. And even thrice. Most of the chairmen you are hearing now are people who have been in the Senate for a long time, because in the National Assembly and the legislature, experience matters a lot. So let me use that opportunity to recognize the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom said House of Assembly, the Deputy Speaker, and all the other members of the Akwa Ibom said House of Assembly who are here. And of course, recognize also the Chief of Staff to the Senate President and all the special assistants and advisors to distinguished senators who are also in our midst. I want to say to God be the glory. Your Excellency, I'm a lawyer and we don't talk much. When something happens like this, we normally say res ipsa loquitur. The act speaks for itself. I thank you for the warm welcome accorded the federal government delegation when we arrived in your office premises, right from the airport. I thank you for even the private audience you granted me on my arrival, and I want to thank my colleagues for the patience of waiting, and also apologize that you waited for a long time, because I didn't know that the governor had some private discussions he needed to have with me, which I will communicate to the federal government through the president when I arrive. So I thank you for your patience. It is well with you. And it is well with my state. And it is well with all the lovers of Akwa Ibom. And it's well with all the supporters of the Senate President. You know, I thank you. On behalf of the 10 Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on behalf of my dear wife and my children, I want to extend the goodwill and felicitations of the federal government of Nigeria to Governor Umo Eno. I want to assure you that if there is anything the National Assembly can do for any government, we will do so for you. There are many things you may want us to do. The presence of my colleagues in their numbers in the state at very short notice is evidence of the love they have for your state and the respect that they accord to your son, the Senate President. I don't know how you did it, but you brought me here. Just one question. Are you aware there is a drape in front of you? That if you are in US and you want to hold State Executive Council, you can make it a drop, and then you will appear there. Yeah, do you normally do it? Yeah, you can appear, and then your commissioners will see you see conduct business. Is this your system still working? Try, let me see. I'm very, thank you, Your Excellency. So if you want to have a voiceless executive council, the governor, if he's in US or UK anywhere, he will appear right in the drape in front of you. And this whole place will maintain total tranquility. When he appears there, national anthem, then he will conduct the business of the day. So Akwa Ibom happens to be the first state to be ICT compliant in terms of governance in the country. So, Your Excellency, we work together with the people of the state and we gain the sobriquet of uncommon transformers. So my prayer for you is that since you have maintained the standard of governance in the state, may God also help you to leave behind legacies that will outlive you. Now, please, for some of my colleagues who are coming, don't jump. It will go like that in a cylindrical fashion. So, Your Excellency, do you even need to say anything? I said the act speaks for itself. That we could drive from the airport and we didn't see a pothole until we got to your office shows the power of maintenance, which is what is lacking at the federal level, and which is one of the cardinal principles of the Asiwaju administration, to institute a major tradition and leave behind legacy of maintenance. Because most times people do not regard federal infrastructure as their own, but the Asiwaju administration is poised to change all that. There's no need to light a candle and hide it in the cupboard. It's important for people to see. So when we are talking, when you come and meet your colleagues, always invite them to come here and see what you are doing. So I congratulate you for the underground drainage system you completed, I think, last week or a week ago, and which was shown all over the place. When there was major flood in the Niger Delta and in Nigeria up to Ondo in 2022, Akwa Ibom was the only state that was paid the ordeal because of the forward-looking administrations that we have always had, right from the government of Obama Victor time. I'm delighted to be here. I've seen faces that I know, those who add value and those who also add confusion. And the job of the governor is to decipher between confusion and value. And if you continue to pick value, it means you succeed. All must come together. I'm expected to sit here and criticize you because I'm not in the same political party with you. And you are expected to sit there and criticize Asiwaju and the federal government. But I think elections are over, and we are now doing governance. So we must work together across party lines. So you must thank the distinguished senators who are here. I mentioned particularly ABGA, just to let you know that in the Senate, we don't believe in political parties. We think it's a vehicle for us to get to a level of serving our nation, and thereafter we work together as brothers and sisters. We are all colleagues. I don't notice any person. Senator Mongunu, you are aware of this. He's in charge of legal matters, and he looks after that aspect. There is no discrimination at all in the Senate. We all work together as a body. So I thank you for your two senators, Senator Bassi, and also distinguished Senator Ekon Sampson, who is coincidentally in charge of he's the chairman of the solid minerals in the Senate, in the 10th Senate. And they are all working closely with us as Senate leadership. I came to Akwa Ibom principally to attend to my senatorial district that extended invitation to me to come for a brief reception tomorrow through the Minister of Petroleum Resources Gas, Abongema Peripwepo. So when he told me, I said I should come. Then just yesterday night, he came back to me and said, you are also going to pay a courtesy call on the governor. I said, me? He said, yes. I said, I've never been invited for government function before, since I left office, except the one that Governor Mauna invited me. I think that one was Adeket. He invited me to come to Iket for his, for his Thanksgiving. And since I was invited, I went. And I want to thank you also, because even when the son of the minister got married, you were there. When I was sworn in as the Senate President, you came and celebrated with my colleagues. I'm here as Senate President through the grace of God and through the support of my colleagues. And forever I remain indebted to you. God will also honor you in all your endeavors in life. I don't go anywhere without them. So don't be surprised tomorrow if you end up seeing up to 70 or 80 senators in Akwa Ibom, because we are one solid block. Even if you hear us shouting in the Senate sometimes, and I will say, and somebody will say, I wasn't there, and I said, you were there. And he says, I wasn't there, I said, you were there. And then he turns around and turns to another and says, but you were there. After that, we go out and eat together, and we smile together. We have only one thing. We have very patriotic senators. We have nationalists among them, and people who think Nigeria first before they think of their constituencies. So, Your Excellency, I enjoin you this evening to know that it is a major God's intervention and a duty given to you by God to unite the whole state. Let your actions bring unity to the state. Akwa Ibom is easy to rule and to govern, but it's also a very difficult place to unite. One of the practices I had was that when I was the governor, my deputy, of course, was from another tribe. My secretary to government was from another tribe. My commissioner of finance was from another tribe. My chief judge was from another tribe. The chairman of my party was from another tribe. The minister I appointed, at that time I nominated, was from another tribe. So you can imagine where you have your secretary to government from another tribe, you have your commissioner of finance from another tribe, and then you have your chief judge from another tribe, you have the state chairman of your party from another tribe, and then you have your ambassador from others. The essence of it was to give a sense of belonging to all. I also did not attempt to go against the biblical injunction encapsulated in the book of Naboth. And Chronicles, First Chronicles, and book of Proverbs. So, because we are all born to see land, we all die and leave land. So let's not attempt to fight over land, because we'll die and the land will remain. So try and unite your people. At a time like this, with the economy, with the difficulties in the country and all over the world, after the COVID, many countries are in recession. Even the United Kingdom is in recession. it's important that we don't add sorrow to the people through divisive policies. Unite your people. Unite your people. Bring your people together. Even if you inherited a policy that you felt, have the courage I liken the work of governance to that of a surgeon. A good surgeon must have 3 attributes. He must have the heart of a lion, so that even if somebody is involved in an accident, the leg is one side, the hand is one side, the stomach is open, he must suture all together, and he will be whistling while doing that. So you must have a strong heart. The next is like a young maiden. When Her Excellency was very young, they normally have very soft hands. So when you are touching your patient, even the touch will bring healing. So you must have very steady hands for you to be a good surgeon. If your hands are shaking, you are most likely going to cut the wrong vein. The third attribute is that you must have the eye of an eagle. The eagle can stay 10 miles away and see a squirrel on the floor and come straight for it. That is the way it fits. So the governor of a state must have those attributes. Please do not inherit the enemies of your father. Make your friends and your enemies by yourself. And remember always that it is one thing for you to get to the top, which is like a pyramid. But it takes a lot for you to remain there. So he who walks on a tightrope must learn how to do the balancing act in order to remain on the rope. Thank you for this visit, and may God be with you and your state in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, the President. Because that speech was laced with many lessons and copious humor. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, I want to agree with the Senate President that leadership, or the work of a leader, is like that of a surgeon. Must have the heart of a lion, steady hands, and the eye of an eagle. And for me, you have all of these and even more. Perhaps I can even add that beyond having the heart of a lion, you have the heart of a mother. Because all of us in Akwa Ibom State are truly loved by you. That is why you're working hard to put smiles on the faces of everybody, young, old, male, female alike. On that note, I want to please request that we invite His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, to please address his guest, the Senate President. Please can we put our hands together for him as he takes his part. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Your Excellency, the President of the Nigerian Senate and the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a man whom God has given the privilege to have sat on this seat some 10 years ago. And when I quote my genealogy, I always quote right, that this state has been blessed by governors at very different times who came and were focused on the agenda. From the days of our great-grandfather, Obong Atta, to yourself, to my political father, Dikinudom Emmanuel, whom you are his own father, and then to myself, the Kingdom's son and your grandson. And we have a very proud genealogy in Akwa Ibom. And each and every one of you that have gone ahead of us have done such a fantastic job that our role is just to keep maintaining, like you have noticed, and then attempt to add a few more things by the grace of God. It is with deep respect, profound joy that we welcome you to home this evening. Our distinguished senators that have come with our Senate President and our son, we thank all of you and we welcome you to Akwa Ibom State. Together this evening, with all of your entourage, you are welcomed by the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the Honorable Speaker, the Chairman of our party, former Ambassador to Russia, the Deputy Speaker and honorary members of the House of Assembly, the SSG, the head of the Civil Service. We'd like to welcome all of our guests that have been here tonight. But let me particularly also welcome the Honorable Minister for Petroleum Gas that is also here tonight. Your Excellency, the Bible makes it very clear in Psalm 133 verse 1, behold how good and how pleasant it is when brethren dwells together in unity. Tonight, that portion of scripture have come true. To have you here again as the man who laid and built this edifice many years ago, come back to visit us in Akwa Ibom State formally. Your Excellency, I know you've been to the state several times. Of course, it's your home. But this is the first official visit of the distinguished Senate President to the seat of government in Akwa Ibom State. And we do not take it for granted. We want to thank God for lifting you up as a beacon of light for our state. We want to thank your colleagues that found you worthy to be made the leader, to be made the leader of the Senate and then the Senate President. We want to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for standing by you and supporting the decision of your colleagues that today Akwa Ibom has the number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the joy we have, and that's the pride we carry. And we will continue to assure you that we will partner with you, partner with the federal government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And like you said, party politics is over, even though we belong to different political parties. But the love, the support that we have received from you as our big brother has made us to remain united, and you reach out to us, work with us, advise us, counsel us. And for me as a person, I believe that God brought me here by grace to bring about reconciliation of our people. That there's this saying, together we stand, divided we fall. If we can get anything for our state, if our state will become great, if our state will become the place of envy as it is, if our state will continue to grow, we'll have no alternative than to work together. If we miss this opportunity, I don't know when else. We'll never blame God, because we have you there as the Senate President, that if we need anything at the federal level, we can run to you. We can tell you you're here. Because, and if you need anything back home, you can also call on us. You say, look, run to my house and see what is happening while I'm here in Abuja. We need that collaboration, that synergy, and this is the best opportunity for us as Akwa Ibomites. And that's why, by the grace of God, we're doing all we can to ensure that our people live in peace so that they can benefit from this wonderful privilege that only God, by His divine mercy, could have brought together. And we do not want to be like people who could not understand the signs of the time. Like I said many times, Your Excellency, you are up there. You can help us bring the things our hands cannot reach. We are down here. We will not want you to bend too low to pick certain things on the floor so you don't fall off from that high tower. You can, but you can bring those things from up. We can bring those things from the ground, and we can all put everything on the table. And then our people can have food to eat. They can have things. I think that's the collaboration that we really pray to God and look forward to. Your Excellency, we thank you. We want to assure you that we'll continue to collaborate with you. Tonight is an historic night in Akwa Ibom, and indeed in Nigeria. We had the privilege of meeting at the wedding of the Honourable Minister's son last week. And we said together that Akwa Ibom is setting the pace for Nigeria. That Nigeria can come and see how people can work together across party lines. And I think this is the real collaboration that Nigeria needs at this time. For our father, the president, to succeed, all of us need to give him that support. We need to give him that understanding. We need to work together across party lines to provide solution to our myriads of problems. I believe that the solution to Nigeria's problem does not lie in one person or one party, but when God chooses a leader, everyone rallies around that leader. Just like we expect support at the state level, all of us need to come together to support the president, interpret his vision, so that together Nigerians can benefit from one another and enjoy the dividend of democracy. Criticism will not solve the problems we have at hand. And that is why tonight I am so grateful that you have taken the bold step to come and see us at home, to give us fatherly counsel like you have done tonight. It is the right of a statesman at your level to do that. And if you don't do that, we'll be surprised. Where we do well, you tell us we're doing well, like you have always done. Where you need us to improve, you draw attention to it. Yorubas have a common proverb. You can kill us inside, don't kill us outside. You can bring us inside and correct us and tell us your observations, because we are your grandchildren. We cannot claim to have more experience than yourself, and we want to lean on that experience. We want to continue to see you as a beacon of hope and light at the national level as you continue to bring all of us together under one umbrella. And we work together as a people. Even though we have different ideas, we can all come together for the benefit of our state and indeed our nation. Your Excellency, we welcome you tonight on behalf of the government and people of Akwa Ibom State. It is indeed our privilege to welcome home the number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, C-O-N. We welcome you, Your Excellency. Welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you, Excellency. Your Excellency, please, this is just a little memorabilia for you to please find a place in your very big office. So, on behalf of your people, sir, very comfortable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Excellency. And this one,
Those are sounds of joy from distinguished senators. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, would just take photographs? Please, the distinguished senators should come around to join the Senate President as we take this shot, please. Thank you, Your Excellency. Well, actually, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll just allow the Please, we'll allow the distinguished Senate President to make some endorsement on the official visitors register, while the other distinguished senators will make their way back to their seats, please. Please, we just want to announce that from here, we will move straight to the banquet hall where we would have the gala night in honor of our distinguished Senate President and, of course, all his colleagues. And, of course, also to mention that when we go there, we'll basically continue from where we stop here. So we'll dispense with protocols at that end so we can make it as rapid as possible. Please to also inform us that members of the EXCO, our permanent secretaries, will exit